residential and commercial.
No. Oops, sorry.
Yes.
I realized I need to record this.
Okay. So should I start again?
Yes. Maybe, yeah. Sorry. Let's start again. Sorry
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Diana Vasquez. I am in the United States in the New York City metro area, specifically in Jersey City. I own a real estate company. We focus on residential and commercial real estate, and we work with people that are looking to create wealth through real estate. We help them secure financial security.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so Diana's the queen of Jersey. Okay, let's go to Sheehan from Singapore.
Hi, hi everyone. So for me, I was an engineer, and I was doing freelance prototyping for entertainment and academia. And I was averaging about 2 to 5K a month. However, when COVID came, all my projects got shut down, and so I started looking for a more scalable skill, and so I found copywriting and enrolled in this program. Yeah.
Okay,
Whoa.
awesome. All right, over to you.
Oh, well, I'm Fabiana Panetta. Like I said, I'm originally from Argentina, living in Spain. Sorry if my voice kind of cracks down because I just came out of COVID.
Oh,
and
okay.
I had a really bad COVID. So every time
wow.
I speak publicly, well, the last 2 days, I noticed that my voice kind of like crackles.
Oh,
So
sorry about that.
I'm gonna try to keep it steady. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. So Fabiana Panetta from Argentina, living in Spain. I also lived in the US for 13 years. That was 8 years ago, or almost 10 now. And I'm a certified money mindset and business coach for women entrepreneur. And also I have a high-end program teaching people how to do virtual summits. So those are my two specialties. And I run group coaching programs. So that's what I specialize in.
Amazing. And yeah, I think your summits are doing quite well. Like you get results.
I can't complain.
Yeah, you can't complain. It's really awesome. So she does summits for the Spanish speaking market. So it's actually quite interesting, the thing she's doing. Okay, second question around the room again. And then by the way, guys, those who are viewing this live, if you have any questions for any of the panel, then feel free to just drop in your questions and stuff. So what was life or business before the Holy Grail? So again, we just do the same sequence. So over to you, Diana.
So we were selling real estate, but it was more of a transactional type mindset. So it was like in real estate, you're only as good as your last deal. So you're always chasing the next sale or, looking for that next sale. And then when COVID happened, everything stopped. So we really got a chance to look into the business and not out looking for business. So it was very mind-boggling to see all the work that we had to do inside. And through the Holy Grail, we were able to identify who we were as a company and who our target market and who our ideal customer was, which we never really put a lot of effort or thought into that. It was just about the next sale.
Okay. I think, Diana, we can continue. So basically, we'll go through the rest of the questions. I think the sequence will be, so just to follow, you will follow your narrative, I think, a bit better. So how do you discover the Holy Grail?
I discovered Ken on a Facebook private group called Trends, which is a business publication here in the US. And I just came across the post and I was like, oh my God, who is this God of words? He's so good. And I didn't really know what I was going to encounter, but I just knew I needed to find out what it was and learn how to be better at communicating what I did.
Okay. And after the Holy Grail, I know you went through, both Inner Sanctum and Platinum as well. So what happened after that?
So us as a team, so I was doing the training and then I would come back and do the exercises with my team. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, us doing it as a team, because first off, we grew together. And it was very creative for us to put our hats on and really explore who we were as a company and where we could go. And we were able to identify who we wanted to work with. And within that, we really just became really strong. And the mission, the company mission, was so clear between us, because we did this together. It wasn't just like me, trying to do it alone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I just want to highlight a few things. I think one, you say you came across my post in Trends, right? So I turned that entire strategy into a bonus on Holy Grail. It's called storytelling, because that particular post that, where you look at my social media post and you sign up, it made me about $18,000 from that one post. and so I actually broke down how to do that sort of post. And even though I don't do that much Facebook postings, I know a lot of people in the audience like to do Facebook posts. They like to, they don't want to spend so much on ads and everything. And that it is possible to actually make money with Facebook posts alone. And that's the storytelling bonus. That's a fast action bonus for Holy Grail. That means if you get it by 26th of June, you'll get that particular bonus of how I do these kinds of social media strategies. And did your daughter ever graduate uni? Because she was inspired to drop out, right? Because of me.
And she was actually part of the process, because she was home, because she had to come home from college. So she was part of the process of the Holy Grail exercises. And it was great to just do it together. It was actually a lot of fun for all of us.
Yeah, I think Holy Grail is a very good team building exercise. I know a few people who are actually viewing this particular segment. Some of them have actually used Holy Grail to build out their teams. So if you have teams, you have groups of people. It's a good team building, unifying front. That means you all speak the same language. And when you speak the same language, magic happens. And tell me about La Chapulina and what's going on over there. That's like really cool. And explain to the audience about that as well.
Sure. So La Chapulina was the brainchild of the Holy Grail, right? Of the whole process. We came up with 3 markets that we wanted to focus on. And out of those 3, we really focused on one. And through that brainstorming came the superhero. So La Chapulina Verde is inspired by an 80s superhero, which was really, really famous in the Hispanic community. Think of it as like a Mickey Mouse and Superman had a baby, and this funny superhero was born in the Hispanic community, and his name was El Chapulín Colorado. So people as old as 70 or as young as 15 know who he is because of their grandparents and their great grandparents, but he was huge in pop culture in the Hispanic community. So we created the female version of this superhero. The name is very similar and the outfit is similar, not identical. I actually just finally got the trademark, because the trademark is a long process. So now she's my intellectual property. And so through this process of La Chapulina Verde, which has been long because we didn't really know what we were doing with it, right? Now we have this image or this reflection of who we are, but what do we do with it? The funny thing is that because of the confidence in the superhero, I even got an artist, an international artist, to agree to do a project with us. And when I took this project to 3 different marketing companies, it was really interesting because in my mind, the celebrity was my achievement, was like, wow, I got this international pop star to say yes to work with me. But when I went to work with the marketing companies, they all said the same thing. It's not about the artist, it's about you and what you're doing. And she is La Chapulina, right? The superhero should be the main character and he should just be an addition. So being that that happened, I kind of stopped that because that was going to take a lot of money and effort. And I decided to focus on what we created, which was my intellectual property. And then later on, once we have once our map is very clear, which is what we're at now, where we're very clear, then we can introduce someone of that stardom to help. It just didn't make sense at that time. I think I just got so excited with the whole process and being able to have someone to agree. I was running before the crawling phase, so I had to stop and really focus on us as a company. And now we are at the cross lines of, okay, we're getting our call center ready, we're creating commercials for TV, we're creating a platform and a website, because our goal is for La Chapulina to be the representation of the real estate community, of real estate in the Hispanic community.
Wow. Yeah, congratulations. I'm so proud of you, Diana.
Thank you. It's been a process. It's you think things are fast, but you gotta slow down a little bit. It's like, okay, stop.
And that's why I think WYODC wants to be a long-term journey with you guys. Like, I talk about El Dorado, and I talk about warp speed in the other courses and everything. But the road to El Dorado, sometimes you reach it fast, sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a while for things to get traction. And as long as you take action, I think we do try in WYODC to try to support you as much as we can. And sometimes it takes a while to birth babies. You don't give birth to a baby overnight, right? You take 9 months. And even then, that baby is not very rewarding, right? Until it reaches college, right? So, and yeah, I think I'm just so proud that this place. There's this thing that I talk about, and some of you in the audience may have seen the video. It's one of the bonus videos. I talk about the idea of precession. And precession is actually a scientific term for unintended consequences. Like basically when you move in a certain direction, something else actually happens. So it's almost like a butterfly effect or domino effect. And I realized that when it's actually the process in personal development speak, precession is the process of, as I head towards my goal, as I go towards a certain direction, all these miracles and all these different kinds of domino effects happen. Like when I first started WYODC, that was when was it? April of 2020, I think. I never imagined it will become worldwide. It would, where we're touching so many lives now. I mean, Diana and I were discussing about crypto-related stuff, and now, half my team is in crypto. They are in the crypto industry and whatnot. We have links everywhere there in Web3, and it's just amazing to see the kind of impact, and to see that you guys take action as well. And as you take action, as the Holy Grail principles actually come, as you start taking action on Holy Grail, you start seeing miraculous results. And you're living proof of that, Diana, and of the other people in the panel as well. And there's actually a lot of you. There's actually quite a few of you in the panel itself, not in the audience itself, that could very easily come on this panel and everything like that. We only have space for 4 or 5 any given time. And in fact, one of them was supposed to join us, but he said that he was closing 8 deals this week. So he was closing 8 deals this week. He couldn't do it. So he was a victim of his own success, because Holy Grail gave him the stats, and now everyone is chasing him down because of the results he's getting for his clients. So it's just insane. So he's actually going to give a testimony about how busy he is. Okay, let's thank you so much, Diana. Let's go to you, Sheehan. And so over to you.
Before Holy Grail, I was reading books, and I was still quite clueless on how to start on copy. I was actually struggling for about a year, close to a year plus, before I found Kenneth. I also went through a few programs and had very low confidence on even when to even start to charge, because I'm not even sure if I can deliver. Then after attending Holy Grail workshop, then I took Kenneth's advice to join a group of business people. And sort of nurtured that group a while. And then somehow, like one of them recommended me to a social selling guru to write for social selling guru. Then that social selling guru asked me to write a full landing page. I was very stressed because I didn't have any portfolio at that time. And also I didn't know why he chose me. Then I was very stressed. Then during that time, I think I must have rewatched the Holy Grail sessions again like 5 times over. Like every week going back to Kenneth for feedback. Then also keep asking questions in the El Dorado community. Really a lot of support from there, namely from like Sean, Lisa, Lawton, a lot of support. Then after when I finally submitted all my front end pages and opt-in page, one of the pages I wrote converted like 65%. I was quite shocked.
That's insane.
Then later I asked the guru, why do you choose me? Like because I knew that my friends who are way more experienced than me also applied for this job. Then this guru, he shared with me, I said it was because at the start, right, I sent him over like 9 pages of a survey, 9-page survey. So there was, and it was actually mainly like terrain telepathy plus some of my own questions. Then I compiled over 9 pages of questions and I sent it to him. Then he told me, oh wow, so detailed questions, so I choose you. Then I mean it's already all thanks to all the very good advice from Kenneth. And then because of this, I sort of been booked till the end of this year by this guru, and he's given me like 5 campaigns to work on till December. Yeah,
that's insane. Yeah, an amazing thing is you're totally new, right? Like Xian, you're totally new, like 100% new. I think you probably even know what copywriting was last year, right? Like
I was just engineering like electronics, mechanical design, fabrication. Don't know anything about marketing, even Facebook ads, I didn't know anything.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I want to commend you, Xian, because you study really hard. Like I know you really went through the material very in depth, and you keep asking questions, which was good. I like that. The more you interact with me, the more I can give. I mean, the funny thing is that particular social selling guru is also part of Inner Sanctum, right? Which is now called Empire. Like we're changing the name to Empire. Inner Sanctum being the what they call that, the live mastermind. I haven't forgotten about the live event. We're going to do that freaking live event when borders actually open and flights don't get cancelled. But yeah, so like Holy Grail has gotten so big that a lot even of the gurus come in. Now it's like an ecosystem. This guru is actually part, and you probably even know he's part of the mastermind as well, right? When you first worked together.
I got the project, then later he joined, then he saw me inside the mastermind, then he said, hey, confirm this guy. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I know he's very, very happy with your work. So it's fantastic. He's really happy with your work. And you know what's really insane? Like, you talk about terrain telepathy. I want to highlight that terrain telepathy is the questionnaire. I know we touch a little bit on it on the Knights of the Holy Grail thing, but terrain telepathy is in module 1 or module 2 of Holy Grail of El Dorado. It's a questionnaire. Can you imagine a questionnaire closing clients for you? Have you ever heard of that? It's not even your proposal. It's your questionnaire that because it actually has closed clients for me too. Just because it shows that you give a shit about your client. That's actually what terrain telepathy symbolizes, that, hey, I want to know so much about your company, more than you even know about your own company. And that is, if you're a service provider, that is the thing that sealed the deal. And just as a principle, like there's a principle I teach in the Harpoon. The Harpoon is for platinum members. And it's basically how I close McDonald's. I actually 10x. I went to McDonald's for 50,000 they were pitching for $50,000 deal. I came up with a $500,000 deal in 40 minutes. So I came in 50K, came out 500K. I didn't have to work that year, pretty much. So, and it was because I actually went to McDonald's. I went to all the different training programs. I really went in depth, and therefore when I gave my proposal, like when I asked the questions, they were so impressed because they say, hey, you actually know about my company, and therefore the MD just signed off on a 10x deal, pretty much. So Sheehan, congrats on doing that. There's a lot more to come. I'm sure Sheehan, there's a lot more to come. This is just the beginning, and I'm so excited for you. And in fact, so many of these I've been having problems to get a lot of the freelance writers to be part of the panels because they're just so busy with work. Like all of them are just busy with work. And to see everyone flying and flourishing is just amazing. Yeah, so thanks for that. Yeah, over to you, Fabiana.
So it's funny, I was listening to everyone and thinking to myself that I come from a very different background because I've been studying marketing and specifically copywriting for the last 20 years of my life, basically. Yeah. I've studied with John Carlton, Dan Kennedy, Joe Benson, Jason Flatian, a lot of the big names of the industry. And to me, that's a compliment to your program because after having studied with all those people, when I came to you, when I found you, I saw something different in your material. And I remember the way I found out about you, or I found you, was through Rick Sheffron.
Yes.
And for the people watching, if they don't know who Rick Sheffron is, he's like the godfather of internet marketing as we know it. Yeah. He has trained and coached all the big names in internet marketing. Frank Kern, Jeff Walker, everybody that you can imagine. Yeah. Has been coached by this guy, and he's still like the reference people. I mean, he's the leader of the industry still 20 years later. And I remember he did a launch for, pretty amazing. So when he talks, I always listen. And he did a launch for this particular program of his where every month he interviews the people that are doing very well in the industry. And I remember coming across you. And I was mesmerized by your content. I remember paying really close attention to what you were saying. And not only me, what made the difference was seeing Rich paying so much attention to you. He was taking copious notes. I mean, and this dude, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone that knows more about copywriting, marketing than Rich Sheffron. He's like the godfather. He's like the guru of the gurus. Yeah. And he was taking copious notes from everything you were saying. And he was asking you questions. And he was asking you questions about the answers that you gave to the previous questions. He was like re-asking. And he was like really interested in everything you had to say. And I was very interested in everything you had to say as well. And it was one of the few interviews that I watched from beginning to end.
Wow.
And he was offering these interviews like regularly and with very famous people. But one of the things that really like hooked me to you was that you were so generous with your knowledge. You didn't want to keep anything for yourself. Maybe it was a little bit of, I want to impress this guy. I don't know, that you're the one that, has to say that. To me, you were like, no, I'm going to give my all, really good content. And if he wants to know more, I'm going to tell him even more. And that generosity and that, you were not sugarcoating or stepping, above the content. You were not just like going on surface. You were really going in depth. And I'm like, oh, who is this dude? And so I started researching you, but I couldn't find anything, couldn't find much. Like, can I study with him? Can I work with him? Can I coach with him? Can I be close to him? And I couldn't find anything. And I can't remember exactly how I found out about the Holy Grail program. Yeah. I can't remember if it was through Rich or a post, because you're so well connected that when you launched for the first time, or at least the first time to me, the time that I joined, everybody was kind of talking about you. I saw my friend David Frey talking about you, and I really respect him. I'm like, oh, he knows David, and he knows this guy, and he knows that guy. And so I said, I have to be a part of, this training. So I went through the whole like free training, and life was already good for me before Holy Grail.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, I don't have this like brag to riches stories of, I was in the dumps and nothing was working for me. No, but the good thing is that life got even better after Holy Grail. So I remember going through the whole free training, and when you announced the price, I'm like, oh, that's a little steep. that was my first reaction. Was like, oh, who does he think he is? Because I had trained with other people, but I'm like, yeah, but there's something here that I need to find out. I need to know more.
Yeah.
So I made the investment, and I was happy to make it. I went through the whole program. I discovered a lot of things that I've been applying to my business, to my launches, to my content, to my emails. I remember recently for my last launch, I remember coming to you and saying, hey, Ken, what is like the average open rate or click-through rate on a launch email? And you said, I think it's, I can't remember the figures exactly. I'm going to make them up.
Yeah.
And I think you said like 10%. I'm like, wow, I have 40, or I think it was like 40 or 50. And you were like, insane. Wow, what? How did you do that? And it was applying all your principles. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. When you told me the average click-through rate of the industry, and I compared it to my click-through rate at that time, I'm like, wow, this thing really works. I mean, this, I have to continue studying, applying, and learning even more and more and more. And I've done like a couple of iterations of the course, because it's a course, it's like you mentioned with the baby. Yeah, 9 months for a baby to be born. And you're like, well, that's my project, that's my baby. But then you have to raise that baby.
Yeah, that's true.
For that baby to be a useful human being to society and be happy, you have to raise that baby. And that's what happens with your business too.
Yeah, that's true.
So to me, I'm in my infancy. I'm still going through the program, applying, material things, because when you go through the program a couple of times, or, several times, 3, 4, 5 times, every time you go through it, you discover something new. Yep. And it's like a new gem. They're like, oh, how did I miss that the last time? And so I can't recommend your program high enough. Another thing that I think is very important for people that are watching us is that you are so available. You're so close. You're so like humble and willing to help. I've been in other coaching programs, and yes, sometimes you have access to the guru, to the teacher, and sometimes all you can do is drop a question on a chat.
Yeah.
And that's the extent, to the access that you have. That's about it. Yes, I'm going to answer your question. Just drop it in the chat. And if you have a question about my answer to your question, just drop it in the chat again. And if I get to it, I'll answer it. And I'm like, geez, I want to have access, because to me, when I join a program like yours, I do want to have access. And I'm not going to, give people some expectations that you're going to meet one-on-one with them, or none of that. But it's not necessary, because when you have the coaching classes, we are present like I was, and ready to ask questions, and you were willing and ready to answer them, I got my value. I got what I needed. And so I could, go forward and advance and progress. And so, like I said, I can't recommend your program enough, not just because of the content, but because of the teacher.
Thank you.
If this content was like taught by anybody else that didn't have the implication, the commitment to the students like you do, it wouldn't be the same. And so you are the one that makes a difference in your program.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I think thanks for your kind words, and I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of you, Fabiana, Shian, Diana, everyone else in WYODC. I think Mark is also here on the group, and he's also gone really far as well. And yeah, just seeing. But the key is implementation, right? Like I can be very available, but if you don't take action, it's it doesn't. So it takes 2 hands to clap. At the end of the day, right? Like You know, the funny thing about that Rich Sheffrin interview, I think it was the Holy Grail interview, right? I think it was the first interview I did with Rich. You know, I think he invited the wrong person to the.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
I think he invited the wrong person.
Can I tell the story because
yeah,
it's
sure, you
so
can.
amazing.
Yeah, you can.
So I'm watching the interview, and Rich Sheffrin is like a very stern kind of guy. I mean, that's the impression that I get from him, like very intense, stern, intense. And he's like, you know, saying all these nice things about Ken because, I remember meeting you at this place and how impressed I was with you and blah, 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 blah. And Ken had the audacity and the valor, the courage to say, sorry, but I think you're thinking of the wrong guy. This dude, so confused. He's like, what? Yeah, we never met in person. And he's like, huh? It was so funny. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And you were so kind to the whole thing. I was like, it was like, it's really nice to see you. But actually the way we met was this and that and that. He's like, oh, okay. Well, let's continue. And the whole thing was hilarious. And you never took it personal. Like, dude, you don't even know who you're interviewing. What's up with you? No, you were like kind and humble and like, no, actually, I'm not that person, but I'm sure I can provide value. And you did.
Yeah. Yeah, the introduction was just so weird. Like when he said it, I was like, who is this guy? He's like, who?
Exactly,
who is he talking about?
Like, he was looking at his notes, like, didn't I meet you at this place? No, you're like, no, we recently met. Don't I know you from like 10 years ago? And you're like, no. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, until now, I still think he accidentally picked the wrong person, and he was so impressed with me. He kept inviting me back on the show. Like,
he can, and he has invited you like 3 times. And one thing that we can't not say to people is that now he's promoting you. He's like this huge guy in the industry, and he's actively promoting you to all his list. Like I received the invitation to the Holy Grail, you know, because of course he has to know who has bought or hasn't. But I'm like, wow. And the copy was like remarkable. He was like very generous in his praise to you.
Yeah. I'm
like, wow, good for you. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I think I'm just floored by how Holy Grail, because I think the quality of the product matters. Like as much as marketing matters, I think the quality of the product matters. And you know, you're talking about people like Fladian and all those things. Like we were actually talking to Fladian and the rest to promote, and they saw the numbers of our program. And you know, Fladian does like the biggest webinar launches in the world, and he's like, "Wow, your numbers are amazing." It's just that we clash with Ryan Levesque. So we just clashed with Ryan Levesque, right? Ryan, everyone clashes with Ryan, so you know, everyone promotes Ryan, but you know. But we were at least at that seated table. We had the seat at the table because of that. And you know, people like David Garfinkel and David Deutsch are all learning from me now. The legends of the industry are actually saying, hey, you have something new to teach. I'm learning from you. Like, you know,
too. I've seen the interviews.
You see the interviews? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So awesome, right? Like just so flawed to get that kind of attention. And it's really grace of God. I think it's God's it's really, really God's grace. And I think just remaining humble and just doing the work. Because even, you know, just about 4 or 5 years ago, I actually launched my first info product, but I canceled it because I thought nobody wanted to hear what I wanted to say. Like I thought this dude with a Malaysian accent with, you know, like, you know, with this, like, you know, why does the world care, right? And it took COVID and it took, you know, the launch of YODC to say, hey, the world does care. And it's people like Rich Sheffrin, people here, you know, Diana, who first bought Inner Sanctum and has now grown, or, you know, Sheehan, who bought Inner Sanctum before the launch. You know, I still remember all those. Even before Knights of Holy Grail, he bought Inner Sanctum before even the first video went on. That's how much faith he had in the program. And you, Fabiana, who being part of this journey with me and seeing you grow. I think it's staggering. It's just staggering to see WYODC morph and grow in this respect. And I think I just want to highlight something about Holy Grail. We actually launched a brand new mastermind. So Inner Sanctum will still has its part, and all Inner Sanctum are actually going to be part of this anyway. If you're an active Inner Sanctum member, you'll be part. It's called Holy Grail Empire. And Holy Grail Empire is basically the business model I use to kind of live my life. So I only live with two business models, and the rest, I do investing, everything. And that is, I create products that affiliates like to promote. So basically, you're a Holy Grail product owner. And so you're either an expert, like for yourself, I know you're an expert, and you basically create products that affiliates want to promote. Like even for me now, I don't really do much paid traffic and everything. Like I will scale up paid traffic, but my very first course is, get everyone to promote me, which you have seen. And which means there's no upfront costs and all those things. And I just have to just send a Facebook message and say, hey, mail today. That's my work for the day, pretty much. And the second is if you're a copywriter, so I do both. So Empire has two parts. So there's Solo Empire and ClickBank Empire. So Solo Empire, if you're an expert, you do this. And I think with Sheer, I'm working on ClickBank Empire, which means if you're a copywriter, you learn the skills of writing a ClickBank video sales letter and become a product owner on ClickBank. Because that's another way to make 6-7 figures very easily. And you don't have to rely so much on clients anymore. Like for now, my clients are my side hustles. So I do take on clients, but they pay me like $50,000 for 3 weeks of work. As my side hustle. It's what I do for fun. And basically, I teach copywriters the very skill to, one, be a product owner yourself, but also if you're able to write ClickBank video sales letters, you can command $25,000 fees, because they're the highest paid copywriters in the industry. You get paid anywhere from $10,000, $15,000, $25,000. In contrast to you doing just emails where you're doing like $50 to $100 per email. Like, you can spend 3 weeks of work and make 3,000, or you can spend 3 weeks of work and make 50, like what I am doing. And like I said, this is even a part-time thing. This is something like, hey, this is cool to do. And I go do it. But my main bread and butter is teaching and training and all those things. So if you're interested in learning more about Empire, so it's a 1-year mastermind and everything, you all would know the drill. Just go to m.e/real-Kenneth-Yu. I'm going to put the comment here. And we are going to, and then you just have to put El Dorado. You just have to say El Dorado. You get the list, you get the video. It's a slightly modified video with Empire. You get the, what else do you get? So you get a Google Doc as well down the line, like it will automatically be sent to you with all the details of all 3 Gold, Platinum, and Empire. And I'm going to do this for Holy Grail. If you are a prior member of Holy Grail, you can just upgrade. So you don't have to pay extra, you just have to upgrade. So if, for instance, you're 2.5, and the other thing is, let's say 8,000, you pay 5.5 and you bridge the gap. And then we will mastermind together. And quite a few people have taken it already. So I think I'm on the right track in terms of that. And it's really, for me, there's a path to freedom. Like, I think one of the things that I've preached a lot over the last year or so, because, my mom-in-law passed away, 2 sets of mom-in-law passed away, blah, 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 surrounded by death. COVID is like nothing but death, right? And then you start to start thinking of things. You start to start dwelling on certain things. And I realized that life is too short for inferior frameworks, which means there's a framework for your life. There's a framework for your business, a framework for marriage or relationships, a framework for how you raise your children, a framework of how you deal with yourself in terms of your personal wholeness and healing and everything. And you need frameworks. Unless your frameworks are really good, you need different and better frameworks for every one of them, if as much as possible. It's life too short. Why struggle with an addiction for, let's say, 30 years when you could overcome the addiction in 3 months with a 12-step program? Or why Or, why is your marriage in this random cycle of self-sabotaging beliefs when you could actually take them through the crucial conversations framework, and then you can make up your differences. You can actually settle your differences. Or in business, why, have a business model that's like this when you can have a far better business model? And I believe the Empire business model is the one that's currently serving me, where, I'm very minimal staff, I very minimal stress. And the reason why I designed my business model this way is because I spent 10 years in hell. I spent 10 years in hell. I had a digital agency with dozens of people. We were across multiple countries. So we were actually one of the biggest boutique agencies in the region. We were servicing billion-dollar clients. If you actually look at the surface, it looks insane. Like, we were really top of the line. McDonald's was our client, Fujitsu. The average client value was about $1 billion. So we were actually quite big time in the space. But the business model itself was such a terrible business model in all the ways. Like, you can't get paid up front. That's one thing. So you basically get paid 3 months down the line after you deliver the work. And you have to settle everyone's salaries for 3 months before you actually get paid. And you have staffing issues. There's a lot of random problems. And my wife and I actually, Laura and I, we used to stay in a lake house. So we used to stay in this beautiful lake. It was sandwiched between a lake and a golf course. We actually gave up that place because we left so early in the morning to the office that it was dark. Like, we had to leave at 5:30 in the morning because the traffic congestion starts at about 6:30 in the morning in Malaysia. And it makes a difference of 2 hours or half an hour. And we come back after the congestion, which is about 10 at night. So we didn't see the lake for 6 to 7 days. We didn't even see the damn lake. It was all darkness. We couldn't enjoy. And we actually had to move to be nearer the office because we couldn't take it. We actually gave up that beautiful lake house to be near the office. And the lake house came with a golf club membership. So, we actually gave them up to. And that's why business models matter. Your frameworks matter. Like, right now, we have minimal stuff and we make more than we ever did in agency, both revenue and profit-wise. No problems with staffing issues. No problems with trying to make payroll every month. And, our government was crazy. We had to prepay our taxes. So not only that, we were doing so, we had to prepay our taxes. So on top of 3 months, no cash flow to prepay your taxes. Do you see that's hell, right? Like, I guess that's a hellscape. And now, life is good. And it's good because of the Empire models that so now, I work till noon most days. Like, if you read my Facebook post, I was camping for a PS5. Last 2 weeks, I was camping for a week to get my freaking PS5 because it was so hard to get. So those are things that I want to teach, everybody. Like, I want to build up, empress and empresses in terms of this ecosystem, because more and more, if you actually get people if you get affiliates if you get a certain number, you get an unlimited amount of affiliates. And I know all the people that broker the deals and everything. I just want to raise up an ecosystem of course creators and ClickBank offer owners that we can actually start creating wealth in the WYODC ecosystem. And we're already seeing it in seed form, and we're going to see it in the future. So that's my little spiel. Thanks. Just a bit excited. So yeah, let's come to a close. I want to respect your times because you're working and Sashia is going to sleep. I think it's 9:50, but he has a kid, so he's not going to sleep so soon. So let's go. Any parting words for the people to join Holy Grail and to join El Dorados? So again, Diana, Shian, Fabiana, and I'll just do a recap and close.
I feel like I need to do this again. After being here now, I'm like, oh my God, I want to do the program again because I'm sure I'm going to find new things, because it's been 2 years and your business is constantly evolving. It's a living and breathing thing.
Yeah.
It's not a human, but it's alive, and it's constantly changing. So I personally think I'm going to do it again. So you'll be seeing more of me very soon. I'm so happy that you're sharing your knowledge with the world, because when you're that gifted, if you don't share it, you're doing a disservice to yourself and the world, and that you're able to open up your mind and your heart. And Ken is just such a beautiful person. And I believe in God, and I think that people put us, or God puts us in places around people that we're supposed to be, and we find each other. We're connected mentally, spiritually. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You really just do find amazing people that are going to help your growth, and Ken has been instrumental to that. So thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much. Truly. Shian?
Yeah. So when I started learning marketing, I learned that it takes about 3 years to become a pretty decent marketer. So why someone should take on Holy Grail is because it will be a great shortcut. You'll probably cut like 1 year, 1.5 years.
Yeah.
It's a super rocket boost. Super rocket boost.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Thanks so much for that. And by the way, Diana, Shian, Fabiana, come back for the refresher. It's happening early July, I think. So come. It'll be fun. We modified it to be easier and more precise as well. So it improves every single cycle. Like Fabiana will give suggestions. I actually implement it in this thing. Like this all-star panel is your idea, Fabiana, by the way.
I remember. Thank you for following my advice. That's great.
Yeah.
and this is one of the things that happen when you join with other minds that are, I'm not going to say that my mind is brilliant, but when you're trying to collaborate, that's what I want to say. What happens is that you try to give back what you receive. And I was receiving so much from Ken, and I saw so much value in his work that I said, hey, the only thing that I think is missing from your launch is bringing us, students of your program that have had success with it to give testimony of how great your program is. And he's finally listened to me, and here we are. And so, and to me, that's the best compliment that I can give to your work and to the program, to take out of my time. Like you said, for me, it's like work time right now.
Yeah.
I also have a very flexible schedule because I'm like you. I'm launching programs, and I am doing my own thing, which I absolutely love. Not commuting, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
The good life, because to me, lifestyle is like the most important thing for me. But yeah, I took time out of my schedule to be here and to tell people how great your program is. And one of the things that you just said, that is constantly evolving for the better. And so to me, that's one of the things that people can, take with them. It's like a warranty or a guarantee of, hey, you're going to continue to learn if you stay with the program and you go through it several times. And to me, there can't be any better guarantee than that. A program that is evolving because it's getting better and better every time.
No.
What else can you ask for? So yeah, if you're on the fence, take the leap like I did, and you'll be rewarded for doing so. Especially like Ken said, if you take action, if you give of yourself to the program is going to return it to you tenfold.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. Thanks so much, everyone. What's really interesting is, I'm not sure if you remember Eric, Fabiana, I think he's from your batch.
Yes.
Remember Eric?
Yes.
Yeah. Eric took this much notes, hand notes, and it was all diagrams and drawings and all those things. Like, I want to get my hands on it.
They're like, hey, can you give me your notes?
Can you give me your notes?
Wow.
His notes was insane. Like it just brought everything to life. Like I just find it so amazing how people take down these copious amounts of notes. And basically, as they implement, lives get transformed and all those things. And yeah, so yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Let's quickly take a photo. So just and then I'll just close. So just 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Awesome. So thank you so much, everyone. So again, there's about $6,700 worth of fast action bonus that's ending on the 26th of June, which is end of this week. And if you want to find out more about the program, about Go at Platinum Empire, just go to, the link m.me/real Kenneth Yu, and then type El Dorado in the chat, and you will get all the details. What's really interesting as well? So something I think also inspired by you, Fabiana, is I now have a testimonial wall. So, and it took me months to collect everything because everyone was saying good things all across the internet, and just put it in one place. I still probably only have 70% of it. Like I'm still finding where the rest are because I'm so disorganized. But if you want to see the Holy Grail transforming lives, you just have to go to attentionempire.com/proof. That's PROOF proof. And you will actually see how it's changing so many lives. I think we have nearly 100, and there's probably a lot more. And from all the gurus, your Mark Joiners and all those things who actually studied the program as well. So yeah, so that's it from me. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Let's see if there's any questions. Any last questions before we go? If not, we'll basically just end here. So no questions. So all right. So it's time to say goodbye, and WYODC, right?
Yes.
Adios.
WYODC. Yeah. Welton actually she created the WYODC hand signs.
Oh, cool.
So something like this is WYODC. Yeah.
Awesome.
Diana, maybe you can help me do a dance. I was supposed to get one of the other dancers to do a WYODC dance, which she hasn't delivered yet. So
okay.
Yeah, Diana's a very good dancer. Yes. All right. You can do a cheer or something. All right. Okay. Take care, WYODC guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay. Bye-bye.